Hi, welcome to class. We're the only two right now, but the other ones will show up eventually, right? I hate my life. I hate my life. And Professor Sunrise Productions!
Hello class, Professor Sunrise here. Holy shit, what a banlist has it been. The homeboy 21 Savage has sacrificed himself for Daddy Colossus to come back. In my opinion, it's a worth sacrifice. Savage was the problematic card, not for us, but all of the other decks abusing it. But after doing a bit of testing here and there, I think we will have to take a look at everything Dragon from a whole new perspective. With Savage being gone, it enables all of the other lists to be comparatively stronger than standard Dragon Link. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at all of the different Bystial, I guess we would now call it Bystial lists. They are available: Horor's Bystial, Bystial, Light Sworn, Thunder Dragon, Piles, and all of those thought things, and actually good old standard Dragon Link, because I don't think the Rocket Engine is quite dead yet. So without further ado, don't forget to seal pass on the subscribe button, leave some feedback down below, and let's get right into the video. So how is Dragon Link looking post April 2024 ban list? Well, first of all, we gotta have a sweet moment of silence for our baby prince, Borrowload Savage Dragon. What a time it was with him. Remember bricking and just having one rocket card and making Savage pass and then losing? Oh man, that was awesome. Honestly, Savage wasn't that big of a deal, but still, look at him. He's cute. So what is happening now? Well, the format is probably gonna basically be the same, with YCS Riley being wrapped up and the top cut being basically the same as it has been before the ban list. There's not gonna be a big change there. Yes, Legacy of Destruction is gonna release in a few days, like in a week, I think. Yes. So we will be having a few changes there with Tempai Dragons and the Light Sworn engine. So especially with the Light Sworn engine, I think we will be seeing a lot of piles, especially with Colossus, with the Nemesis cards being somewhat tutorable, with a lot of rank 4 access into Banshee Surge, the Fire guy, and then you get the whole engine rolling there. So there will be a bit of a dent in the format, but I still think it's gonna be a lot of Snake Eyes, lots of Branded, and lots of Voiceless Voice. So what happened to us? Well, the hits honestly aren't that hard in my opinion. We mostly lost some utility versus Breakers versus Stun. So Baron was mostly there to out Floodgates, especially Summer Limited was a somewhat decent out against that, with Bystials and Quick Launch being able to use that in the opponent's turn, or like the Bystial, and then with the second summon make a Baron was something nice. And sometimes it was nice to end on that to play around a Super Poly. And Savage, yeah, it's an Omni Negated, was really good against Breakers, but honestly, in a vacuum, Seal IP is just way better than Seal Savage. So as long as Breakers are like the go-to form of non-engine in the format, which I don't think it will be, we are still gonna be fine. And even if it was, or even if it were, there's still just so much utility you can do against Breakers. You can go for a Branded Beast instead. You can side more for going first. You could go for a dedicated Seal target. I hope you guys don't hear my dog too much. He's like running around a little bit there. So a dedicated Seal target for example, Grand Tusk Dragon, or any other which just does something on summon, like an Albaz, for example. There's still a lot to do there, and most importantly, with the format basically still being the same, it's still super beneficial for us. Honestly, Snake Eyes losing Linkuriboh was a little bit annoying for us, because there were lines where they summon Linkuriboh where we could punish them with a Bystial, but other than that, Snake Eyes is still the best deck. Voiceless Voice is still super good at having like a shit ton of hand traps, and it's just a little better playing through hand traps than Snake Eyes, and we are very good against that deck with the Bystials. And then Branded is there to counter both of these decks, and we are really good against that again because of our Bystials. So honestly, it's not looking too shabby for us, not gonna lie. So how do we adapt? Yeah, we lost the Rocket Engine, we lost Savage, we lost Baron. So what can we do? There are, I think, 4 things we could go into. First of all, it's a small Rocket Engine. So what I mean with that is just playing 3 Quick Launch and like 1 or 2 targets for the Rockets. So that there you kind of have the best of both worlds. Yeah, without Savage, I don't think it's just worth it to turbo into the Rocket Engine anymore and like go abs, like search boot in the meantime and then summon that out, because you kind of make a Savage with it. So the only thing which you're realistically doing is like Borrow End, and while Borrow End is nice, I don't think it's like mandatory to get into, especially because we still have a Tomb to get into the Rocket Engine if you really need to. So why instead not just cut down on all of the bricks of the engine, the boot sector and the Router, and then just play a Rocket Tracer and like any of the targets, be it the Caliber to summon out of the hand into like a Dark Zone, for example, or Recharger to still have like Striker Pisty plays to OTK. And then just play the 3 quick launch, take all of the positives of the rocket engine, being the extra consistency of getting a dragon into the board, into the graveyard, the extra ability to push through disruption going second, with quick launch being like the second normal summon if our normal summon got banished by SP or however it else might get banished and not land up into the graveyard. And then we have like a very consistent looking list with like clean 40 cards, 9 non-engine, a shit ton of Bystials, and I think it's a very, very worthwhile approach to take a look at. Other than that, we have the Horrors engine. It has been more or less a staple of Dragon Link. I mean, not as much with a lot of hand traps running around like in the Snake Eye format, but if you are not forced to play a shit ton of hand trap and you can go for like a more all gas approach and just maybe play like 6 board breakers, like 3 talents and like 3 imperm, for example. The Horrors engine was insane. I was a huge fan of it. It's even better now because we are not forced to go for the rockets anymore, so we could just play like a Bystial Horrors control gameplay, and Horrors just being like a very, very good play starter for the deck. Usually with the mill 4 you will be hitting something. It's insane follow-up. It also gives access into Hope Harbinger, so we even get something against board breakers, being able to negate a talents, being able, or like stopping the opponents from running over our seal and IP are huge for the end board, and just that one Hope Harbinger makes the end board from crackable to almost borderline unbeatable just because it fits so nicely in there. And all of the weaknesses the seal IP has, it being run over by battle phase, which isn't even that big of a deal because like we have so many resources to outgrind the opponent, but mostly like that one annoying talent where you can't freely use your seal and IP, and Hope Harbinger and the Horrors engine fixing all of those is it is very, very good. I'm a huge fan of that after all of my testing. But similar to the small rocket engine, it also felt very, very good because there are still lots of hand traps running around on the Horrors engine. It just kind of dies to hand traps. It's super annoying to get hit by an Ash on that. An Imperm on the Zombie Vampire is also annoying, but it's salvageable because at least you get the follow-up, you got a body onto the board, you got to draw to maybe dig for more gas cards, more engine cards. But yeah, the Horrors engine definitely does have the problem of it being a little bad into hand traps right now, and more importantly also like stuff like Cosmic, and it's overall less good going second with everyone ending on an IP, especially, I mean the Snake Eye players are ending on an IP. Next we have the Thunder Dragon engine, and by extension the Lightsworn engine. There are a few deck lists which I've been running testing around with. You've probably all seen the Herman Hansen list on the DB Grinder channel. I have similar lists running around, and I've tested everything from 60 cards I will be showcasing you guys here, like pure without the Thunders, always the Horrors engine in there by the way. I think the synergy is just too insane. Like playing 50 cards, but overall I haven't really gotten to a point where I'm really comfortable with these decks. Yeah, going first, they are insane, but if you've seen the list, there's like next to no non-engine in the main deck, at maximum like 3 or 4 in 60. And even that, in my testing, it was super annoying to keep drawing talents in a deck which usually just needs its whole hand to combo off. Yeah, the combo is insane. Like Colossus plus like a Colossus plus like hand loop for 4 plus an Apo or a Seal or an IP or both or all of the above. Yeah, that's really, really good, but you don't need that much power in a going first board, and you much rather have like a solid amount of non-engine going second. The Lightsworns, they just keep bricking, and they're similar like to Runic, where you need a lot of them to work, but you need specific one. Wolf and Feathers are really, really bad to draw unless you have Wise, and then that's insane, but Wolf is way better than Feathers to draw because Wise plus Wolf equals the Minerva Synchro, but Wise plus Fearless only equals the Minerva XZs, and if the Minerva XZs doesn't hit, it's a little awkward, especially because the Minerva Synchro equals the Minerva XZs, so there are things like that which just don't really work out. Lightsworn Dragon being insane, basically being full combo. If you have a Lightsworn in the graveyard, it just bricks and it doesn't combo with any of them other than like a Bystial plus Wise. There you have like some cute lines in there, and overall the Lightsworns, they felt very, very good once they were popping off, but they were so bricky. For some reason, they were even brickier in 40 cards, where you would expect, yeah, you have 40 cards, you are more likely to draw more of them, you're more likely to draw your charge, your Wise to get into place, your mills should be way better, so the cards which you do have, which mill Horrors engine, like Sharon and the Tia engine, which I was a huge fan of in the testing, they all felt, for some reason, it felt worse to play at 40 than at 60, so I'm still going to be testing with it, but honestly, I think it's just not good enough going second right now. I think you can probably beat a Voiceless Voice board. With the amount of Bystials, you should be fine against Branded, but still, I'd much rather play the same amount of Bystials in a 40 card version than in like in a 60 card. And then Snake Eyes, the board is just way too hard to beat. Yeah, maybe you can do some fine tuning, maybe you can tinker around with the deck a little bit. It's super fun. I'm gonna give you guys that. So if you want to have like a very, very fun pile deck, definitely check out all of the Thunder, Lightsworn, Bystial, Dragon, Horrors, maybe even tier lists. It is super, super fun, but I don't think it is the way to go right now. But let's conclude here. So with the format basically being the very, very same and only us losing like a Baron and a Savage, so we only really lose our utility against board breakers, I still think Dragon Link is super, super fine. Yes, the Rocket Engine lost some of the value, but as you've seen, I think it's still worthwhile to just play them as like a consistency tool or like an extension tool, or you just completely swap them out with the Horus Engine, which it probably is a little bit better. The format is still 100% the same. So with all of the utility we had last format with Bystials being so good against the top 3 decks, also against us, we have to admit that, I think it is super fine to still play Dragon Link. You will just cut the Savage and the Baron for more Link utilities. You can finally play Typhon whenever you want to. You can finally play Chaos Angel all of the time. It feels very, very good to do so. And you will be having a fine time until people are completely committing into board breakers, which I don't think they will do quite now. I still think the boards are way too strong for you to completely rely on board breakers, and hand traps just make more sense until maybe Vampire Dragons come out or Lightsworn. But even then, if Lightsworns come out, it's gonna be a heavy combo deck, so you want to have even more hand traps against that, probably compared to board breakers. So, but until something changes with that, we are still super, super fine just playing our nice 9 hand traps ourselves, max out on all of the Bystials in the main deck, apart from maybe the Baldrake, and then just play a very, very good control game into the format. We are super advantageous right now, so I'm looking very much forward towards the future for Dragon Link. Yes, like I said, losing Savage is annoying, but you know what's not annoying? Never drawing Boot Sector again. And I think with that, class is dismissed. You guys are free to leave. Professor Sunrise out. Peace.